वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः। एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्ताः स्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः। मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यमव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्। सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धया ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। येषोऽधिकतरस्तेषामव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परा अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धरता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्। मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय। अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्। श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ज्ञानात् कर्मफलत्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्। अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी। सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः। अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः। समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः। तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः। ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्दधाना मत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। उपस्थित भगवत भक्तों के रूप में मेरी अपनी ही आत्माओं। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता भगवान के मुखारबिंद से निकली हुई अमर वाणी है, और जो भी जीव श्रद्धा सहित इस अमर वाणी को धारण करता है, वो जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति करता है, इसमें कोई संशय नहीं है। ये जीवात्मा चाहे जिस देश में रहे और चाहे जिस भेष में रहे, गीता सबका सब काल में समान रूप से कल्याण करने वाला एक अनुपम एवं अलौकिक ग्रंथ है।
सुखदम् केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशम् दिलक्षम् एकं नित्यं विमलम् अचलम् सद्गुरुं तं नमामि, सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। Chitta Sangha Dosha Adhyatma Nitya Vinivekta Kama Dvandve Vimukta Sukha Dukkha Sangai Gacchanta Mudha Padama Vyayam Tat Sarvasya Chaham Hriti Sannivishto Mattah Smritirgya Namapohanam Cha Vede Jasarave Rahame Vavejo Vedanta Kritave Davideva Jaham Niramana Moha Chitta Sangha Dosha Adhyatma Nitya Vinivekta Kama Dvandve Vimukta Sukha Dukkha Sange Gacchantya Mudha Padama Vyayam Tat Sarvasya Chaham Hriti Sannivishto Mattah Smritirgya Namapohanam Cha Vede Jasarave Rahameva Vedyo Vedanta Kitave Davideva Jaham Vedanta Kitave Davideva Jaham. You can now gently and slowly open your eyes and know that you are a unique and beautiful spiritual being of pure consciousness, and all you have to do is to shine brightly, and you will be helping the world and the universe. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev Maharaj, Boliye Sadguru Maharaj Ki Jai, Geeta Mata Ki Jai, Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan Ki Jai.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. First, wishing everyone a very happy Janmashtami. And wow, this is the most important day of the year, for us at least. And happy Janmashtami, everyone. And a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for being with us tonight. Gurubai Joshiji sent an email, which Kapoorji sent an email, Joshiji, maine jo aapko forward ki thi. He is not going to be in today. There's a wedding in his family. So, लगता है किसी की लॉटरी लग गई है, डॉक्टर प्रसाद जी. Joshi ji, please take it over.
Thank you. spiritual life. Jai Shri Krishna to everyone. Dear Gurudev, indeed, it's a very, very auspicious day for all of us, for that matter, for the entire world. This is the day when Sri Krishna was born in a very unusual circumstances. But when he appears, all the problems of the world in one's life disappear. Dark night, jail, all the soldiers sleeping, all the locks unlocked. Here you go to River Jamuna in a storm that is calm, and that's what Krishna is in our life. Keeps all of our faculties well charged, well in place, and one of the best way that I have seen and I've been thinking about myself. Whenever I thought about Bhagavad Gita, whenever I open the book of Bhagavad Gita, any unbecoming disturbance, mild or big, precipitates like a camphor. This is, as Gurudev says, is alokik. It is unbelievable for most. But to us, it is believable because we feel it. We have the experience of being with Gurudev and telling he is Sakshat Krishna who came in our life. We have had many occasions when he was with us. Our mentality becomes very different. We become calm, we become positive, we don't want to go away from him. Those who have been lucky gave him massage on his feet, massage on his head, listening to his jokes. Very occasionally he will make jokes after having the dinner, will make us laugh. Those memories are with us, and while we have the memories of Gurudev, he is with us. Physically he may have gone, but no one can take him away from us. Think of him, keep your eyes closed, see yourself sitting in his satsang, see him sitting on his singhasan, think he's talking to you, and you will feel very, very different. And today is the day when Krishna was born, and also we think of Gurudev, that we were born again when we took our Diksha. So we are very, very fortunate to talk about Gurudev, to talk about Bhagavad Gita, to talk to devotees of Bhagavad Gita and Gurudev. We are very, very fortunate. And all I can say is thanks to everyone who is participating in this process. And more so to Swami Geeta Kiran ji, Brother Peter Gamilani ji, of course, Dr. Yo Prasad ji, Narendra Kapoor ji, Amon ji, Memda ji, Kamlesh ji, Parvinder ji. So they are changing. We are all changing. And that gives us a kind of supplementary spiritual policy that is more than likely that in this very life we got it made. We got it made. We are happy. We are confident spiritually. At this moment, I will request our perennial teacher, Professor Yupasaji, to please take it from here. Today is a very auspicious day. We will listen to you more keenly. Something will definitely come out very valuable. And before I give up speaking, I request all of you, share this feeling, tell them to read 12th verse of Bhagavad Gita and go through all the way to verse 20 and pick one thing and practice on that one thing and see what happens. You will be very, very happy person. So, Dr. Saab, thank you. Take it from here. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you very much, Joshi. Thank you very much indeed. Let me start with the prayer to Bhagwan. Vansi Vibhushitakaran Navnidabhat Pitambara Dharunabimbaphaladaroshthat Purne Sundaramukha Arvind Netra Krishna Param Kimapita Tvamaham Najane Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev to all divine souls participating in satsang today. As has been very clearly mentioned, today is, or we have celebrated Lord Krishna's Janmashtami yesterday. Most of us would have celebrated. In India, it was celebrated a day before. Now, this is the 5,348th. We call it Prakatya Divas. We don't call Janma Divas. The Janma Divas is for mortals who take birth due to their past karma, and at the time of departure, if they have not been able to extinguish their all karma, they get born again. This goes on and on for the mortal souls like us. But Bhagwan, he doesn't take birth. उनका प्राकट्य होता है, उनका अवतार होता है, वे अवतरित होते हैं. On this day, let me extend warmest greetings to all of you. आप सबों को हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. Now, this is the 8th avatar of Lord Vishnu. No avatar have taken. And he manifests himself in the form of human body for certain purpose. He manifests in his own way, taking Prakriti into his control, and gets all the work he wants to do through the medium of Prakriti, which we have been learning. Now, his manifestation as Lord Krishna was on the 19th July 3328 BC, approximately 5,348 years ago. And he left his physical body behind on the 18th of February 3102 BC. So and at the age of 125 years and 5 months. you would have realized that at the time of Kurukshetra war, which started on the 15th November 3138 BC, he was 90 years, 4 months, and 4 days old. Now we have gone through chapter 4, and in chapter 4, Bhagwan himself clearly describes that his janma and karma was divya. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti surjuna. His birth and his appearance has been a divine one, and he found the need for his appearance, for his avatar at that particular time, and he had already planned what he has to do while he was on the earth in human form. So that was his purpose, and in that course of time when he was there, we got the gem of the knowledge in the form of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This came up because it necessitated him to enlighten his Sakha Arjuna, who had gone into despondency, and to bring him out of despondency, he started to, at the request of Arjuna, he started to deliver the teachings which we have been going through, and we and the entire universe for its entirety has been benefited with the kind of knowledge which is contained in those 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita. Each and every verse contains so much of deep meaning behind it, so much of, for thousands of years, sages and saints and Mahatmas, they have been wondering about what is there in it, and they have not been able to fathom the depth of this knowledge which is contained there. I tell you, when I read, I've been reading this last more than 50 years and have been trying to deliver whatever I can. And in that process, when I study, so much of new things comes up, new ideas come up. And actually I get so much overwhelmed because of the thing which is hidden there. We does on first going or second going or even for years, we go through and you do not realize what has happened. I just give you, before I move ahead, I just give you why I say this. You see last week, I projected this slide before you. You see, the pattern of question which Arjuna, he has asked 15 questions in whole Bhagavad Gita. And the question number 3, 5, and 18, I mentioned last week. But I just tried to give you, one can write a thesis. A thesis can be written on the pattern of question raised by Arjuna. You see, you all know, you are all knowledgeable people, very much knowledgeable people. If we ask you, can you ask one question on, say, chapter 2? You will start thinking what to ask and how to ask. What is there to ask? Unless you know something about it, you cannot ask question. So even for asking question, there has to be some understanding before you even put up a question. And look at the question which he has been asking. In chapter 3, he suddenly realized, Esa brahmisthate partha nainam prapya vimuchyate sthitva syamanta kalepi brahma nirvana mrikshati. This is the verse 72 of chapter 2. Now, in this verse, Bhagwan says, Brahmi sthiti prapta, you will get liberated. Arjuna caught this point. That's good. Why not? I get the knowledge, I get liberated. Why you are forcing me to go for the war? Isn't it so easy for me to just get jnana, attain knowledge, and attain liberation? That's what we all here for. We all want to be liberated. No cycle, do not go into the cycle of birth and death. We want to be liberated. And if you say, Brahmi sthiti prapin vimujyati, I can get liberated through knowledge, why vyamisre neva vakyena buddhi moya siva me yadekam vid nischitya en sehu mapniyan. You are unnecessarily bothering my mind. You tell me knowledge, jnana, and I will follow that and get liberated. So beautiful at that stage. The thinking of somebody. He doesn't realize that he is not made up. Lokesmindu vidhanistha pura prokta mayanagha jnana yogena sankhanam karma yogena yoginam. This is the second verse of chapter 3. So there he says, Bhagavan says, no, Arjun. It is for karma yogi to perform karma. You cannot just jump over it and go to the jnana. That is for the jnani who are born already with minimum of vasana in him. He is sattvic pravritti, is man of sattvic pravritti, and a man of sattvic pravritti, he need not go through the karma yoga practice because that is required for some specific purpose. So that he explained that. What I'm trying to come here, in third chapter, he wants a distinction between karma yoga and jnana yoga. And he wants to catch hold of jnana yoga without going through karma yoga. But then Bhagwan, when he talks about second chapter, third chapter and fourth chapter, karma yoga and fourth chapter, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, when he talks about, then he realizes, no, there are two things. There is, he now realizes, I don't know how many of us are all the time able to make a distinction between Karma Yoga and Karma Sannyas. We have gone through chapter 4 and we have learned it. And we will again go through chapter 5, which is also Karma Sannyas Yoga. Anyway, what I'm trying to say, he has now realized that there is Karma Yoga and there is Karma Sannyas. So he's asking, if you are saying Karma Yoga is good, also Karma Sannyasa is good, please tell me what is Shreya for me. You see, now he is making, previously he made distinction between Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Now at chapter 5, he is making distinction between Karma Yoga and Karma Sannyasa Yoga. They are all part of karma, but then he is making a distinction between the two. We will go through that when we go to the chapter 5. But 18th chapter, what is he saying? Not even Karma Yoga, no Jnana Yoga. He is now talking about one type of renunciation and other type of renunciation. That is the climax. Sannyasasya mahabaho tattvamikshami veditum tyagasya cha hisekesa prithak kesine sudana. That is the first verse of chapter 18. He says, tell me what is the difference between sannyasa and tyaga. That is the question, a high class, very high level question. What is renunciation? What is tyaga? And Lord talks about that whole chapter 18. He goes through there. That we are not, that is, we'll take that time later on. Now, Here, when we are talking about we have talked about Bhagwan. Now let's go. So in chapter 4, Bhagwan talked about his manifestation and he's talked about for the purpose. Now we are going to chapter 5. Chapter 5 is a karma sannyasa yoga, renunciation of action. As I mentioned last week, there are 3 satak. This is the chapter in the first satak. We are talking about karma. But the last chapter of first satak is chapter 6. Chapter 6 is Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga. And chapter 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Karma, Karma, Karma. So chapter 5 forms the bridge between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on one side and 6 on the other side. What do we mean by this bridge? What is understood when we talk of bridge? What do we understand by that? You see, what is happening? We went through chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. We went through chapter 3, the Karma Yoga. We went through chapter 4, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. These are the hardcore content of this is Karma Yoga. It is about Karma Yoga is concentrated in these 3 chapters. Now, the Karma Yoga is required for Chitta Mala, or the impurity of mind, to be transformed and removed, Chitta Suddhi. So there is a need for Chitta Suddhi, and that is done for following the principles of Karma Yoga. But then you want to go beyond that Chitta Mala, and what Chitta Vikshepa when it comes, when there is scattered mind, mind is not able to concentrate because you need concentration for meditation. If you if you have a certain mind which is chanchal, which is not concentrating, not able to focus, not able to concentrate, you will not be able to meditate. See, that is given in chapter 6. Chapter 6 is yoga of self-discipline, Atma Sanjama Yoga, also called yoga of meditation or Dhyana Yoga. So what is happening? Going through, excuse me, going after removing the Chitta Mala, you want your Chitta Vikshep to be also under control so that you're able to have Dhyana or Atma Sanjam. That's why chapter 5 is called a stepping stone or ladder or bridge between the Karma Yoga below and Dhyana Yoga above. So this chapter 5 has its own importance. We cannot see Maharaj used to say, चौथी क्लास में पढ़ते हो और पीएचडी करना चाहते हो. नहीं हो सकता है. कितना बढ़िया समझाते थे कि इसको कहीं जोशी जी के यहाँ ना कहीं एक किसी लेडी भक्त ने प्रश्न कर दिया, मुझे ये बताइए. महाराज जी कह नीचे का जो असर पहले इस लेयर को पहले पार करेगी तब ऊपर जाएगी, लेकिन पूछिए ब्रह्म क्या है. ब्रह्म को समझाने, ब्रह्म क्या है तो ठीक है, पूछिए सवाल तो जवाब देंगे, लेकिन उसके पहले ब्रह्म समझ में आएगा क्या, और समझ में आने से क्या होगा. थ्योरी अलग बात है. When you think for a moment, even to think of Brahma for a moment, I tell you, you need to really concentrate and concentrate and concentrate. There could have some glimpse of it. But of course, your knowledge is important. Unless you have knowledge, you will not be able to perform, or you will not follow that path. In order to follow the path, we have to have knowledge. That's why it is important to realize the principles of karma before, realize what are the problems and how to solve them, get into the stage when you are able to remove your impurities of mind, and then go to chapter 5. And that's what Bhagwan is trying to do. He's introducing, see how scientifically each chapter had been arranged so that you go one step, then another step, and then another step, and then you evolve, and ultimately moksha, sannyasa, yoga, that is chapter 18, you get liberated when you are in chapter 18. Now, when we talk of how we have gone through chapter 2, chapter 3, and realized, I have gone through this verse last week, we all know very well this verse, that it is question of following these 4 solid principles, the pillars of karma yoga. You have right to perform action, karmanyevadhikaraste. You never have the right of its fruit, mahafalesu kadachana. You do not initiate action without having eye on the fruit of the action. So let not be the fruit of action be your object, and also do not get involved in inaction, akarma. So you have to move away from akarma and perform right action. That is what Karma Yoga talks about. In the meantime, in chapter 3 and 2 also, Bhagavan brings out so many problems. He brings out what are the things which you can encounter on the way to attaining this knowledge of getting rid of your chitta mala. And that are the sangha, kama, krodha, they all will come on. And he also gives us the solution to the problem, how to deal with all these impurities in the mind, how to get rid of them, so extensively mentioned in chapter 2 and in chapter 3 and chapter 4. So from chapter 2 and 2, what we learn, what is right action, number 1, and conscious resistance to all evils. So you resist, you consciously resist, do not allow you to come in. You resist in coming of the evil, and if it comes, remove it. So there, Bhagavan has given us all the clues how to not allow the evils to attack you. He has also given us clue how to, if you got it, how to remove it. And we have gone through all these in chapter 3. In chapter 4, again, Bhagavan talks about, okay, a few words about this progress. You see, he talks about first inner akarma, that means in action, and he tells no, go into activity, karma nevadhikaraste. Then he talks about yagyartha karma. In chapter 3, verse 9, he talks of yagyartha karma. So you see what progression here? The progression is from tamasic state to rajasic state to sattvic state. So that will bring chitta suddhi of chittamal. So if you are able to remove your tamasic content, you have gone on to rajasic and start practicing yagyartha karma, then you will be able to attain chitta suddhi. Now, in chapter 4, we have gone into karmanne karmayah paset akarmani cha karmayah sabuddhiman manushesu sajukta karma krit. Now, this has been extensively discussed. I have taken at least 7-8 sessions to deal with this, and they are all put in the videos which was delivered on January 7, 13, and 20th of this year. If one wants to go through those talks, they are all in the moments of miracle. I don't know whether everybody knows about this or not, but it is for your information that if you go on YouTube and put in there moments of miracle, you will immediately find the slide, the video there, and you can go through all the videos. Most of them have been uploaded. There are few of them are still missing, and that is going to be done by Swami Geeta Kiran ji very soon. So you can go through that and learn and again revive yourself into what we meant by karma in akarma and akarma is unkarma. Then we learned about those 12 kinds of yajna. Those 12 kinds of yajna are the things to be followed by each and every one of us. Even if you practice one or two yajna, then you can go across. That is very, very important. So we have in chapter 4, we got the philosophy of renunciation. We knew the knowledge about it was initiated. And in chapter 5, what we are going to go through is the practice of renunciation of action. Karma, sannyasa, yoga. We went through jnana, karma, sannyasa, that is the knowledge. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. That knowledge you get by going to the feet of Guru. You learn that knowledge, you apply that knowledge, perform those 12 yajna, and when with that, we are now ready to actually renunciate action. The practice that in chapter 5, it is given how to practice renunciation of action, and with that, path to meditation will be paved. You will be able then to practice meditation, and that is what is the purpose of having this chapter 5. Now, the first verse we have gone through before. Let us go through again what it says. Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punarayogam cha samshasi yashreyayetayorekam tanme bruhi sunischitam. He says, Arjuna says, "Oh Krishna, you praised karma sannyasa karmanam, and you also commend karma yoga." So punar yogam ja sansasi means praise. You have praised karma sannyasa, you also praise sannyasa. Now please tell me decisively which is better of the two. What he says, me sreya. This is very, very important word. This is one thing which we have to cling on to. Somebody asked, suddenly if Lord Krishna appears before you, what you will ask him? What will be your question to him? To give pleasure in life, to have all kinds of this. No, you ask Shreya, Bhagavan, tell me what is Shreya for me. Do what is Shreya for me. He will decide. He knows what is Shreya for you, and then he will guide. You cannot ask, you cannot before him, and that unfortunately, most of us that we do. We go to temple, Bhagavan ye de do, ye taklif ho gayi, is taklif se छुटकारा हो जाए, ये बीमारी हमारी चली जाए. यही सब हम में लगे रहते हैं हम लोग. Not that this is not important. It is important. If you have suffering, of course you will ask for something. But that is a level we want to go across beyond that. अगर हम उससे छोटी छोटी मांगेंगे तो बड़ी चीज छूट जाएगी. So एक बार ही बड़ी चीज मांग लो ना, सब छोटी छोटी चीजें सब उसमें अपने आप समा जाएगी. So we should ask for higher thing. If Arjuna could have asked so many things, but he says no. You, Bhagavan, you tell me what is Shreya for me. And that Shreya he has asked in many places, and he says that, you see in chapter 2, he says, Karpanya doso pahata svabhava prikshami tam dharma sammuda cheta Yachreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme Shishyasteham sadima tvam prapannam. Even at that stage, when he was really, his body and mind and everything was totally shaken up, he was not able to stand up on his legs. He falls behind at the back seat. The Gandiva goes, and Bhagwan chides him. Kutastva kasamaramidam visame samupasthitam anarjustam aswargam akirte karam arjuna klebyam masmagama partha naitatya yupapadyate chudram hridaya daurvalyam tyakto tishta param tapa. That kind of chiding Bhagwan gives. क्या हो गया तुमको अर्जुन? ये अनार्जुष्ट अनार्ज हो गए हो क्या? तुम्हारा क्या बुद्धि कहाँ चली गई? उस अवस्था में भी अर्जुन को ध्यान रहा, ये तो मेरा सखा है, मेरा उद्धार करेगा। अपनी सारा हृदय खोल कर रख देता है। बुद्धि मेरी चली गई, मैं एकदम लाचार हूं, आप बचाओ। और कहता श्रेय, क्या श्रेय है मेरे लिए, आप बताइए। थर्ड चैप्टर में भी फिर श्रेय की बात करते हैं। व्याम श्रेय वाक्यन बुद्धि तदेकम विद्न श्रेयो हम आपने आप, जो मेरे लिए श्रेय है वो बताइए। इन चैप्टर 5 also he also repeats the same thing and he says that what is shreya for me, what is better. Shreya is not better. Shreya meant a kalyanakari. There is no good word in English for shreya. Like Shraddha, there is no one word for Shraddha. Shreya is also another word. भौतिक नहीं, आध्यात्मिक. It is not material. When we talk of Shreya for me, I'm not talking about give me a Mercedes car or give me a 10-story building or no. This is material. When we talk of Shreya, Kalyan, and before Bhagavan, you are not asking for any material thing from him. You are asking what is Kalyan for me. मेरा उद्धार is another word. मेरा उद्धार किससे होगा? How can get sublimated, you can so call it. There is a question of sublimation, not just lying there or collecting material things. No, please decisively tell me which. Now here he is talking about two. Of the two, that is karma sannyasa and karma yoga, which of the two is better for me? So see, there is a difference in understanding. His question in chapter 3 was different. His was, in the sense, different and may not be different. I think it is here. You see, when we talk of this question, Arjuna's question was similar but not the same as in chapter 3. See, as I told you, this is a question of a thesis can be written on these questions. What is the difference between chapter 3 and chapter 5? The question raised by Arjuna in chapter 3, which we know very well, is talking about whether karma should be done or whether it should be jnana. And the question is here, they are not the same. They are different. But they are similar. I will come to that similar later on. Let me see which of the two is better. Shreya, what is talking about in one case? He's talking of renunciation of action and participation of action. This is the difference he wants in chapter 3. This is what we are talking about. Whether we should renunciate action or we should participate. Please tell me which of the two is better for me, for him, because he was told in chapter 3 that you are made up to follow the karma yoga, and it is for jnani to follow the jnana yoga. So jnana has been eliminated from his thought, that he is not fit at the moment to go through jnana yoga, follow jnana yoga, but karma yoga. But then in Karma Yoga whether he should practice karma or he should renunciate karma. This is the crux of the question which Arjuna has asked in this chapter. But why this question came to him? Because most of the chapter 4, Bhagavan talks about Jnana Karma Sannyasa, knowledge of the renunciation of action. And at the end, Bhagavan says, Chitvenam sansayam yogam atishto tishta bharata. Having talked about theory of renunciation of action, Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, oh Arjuna, now you stand up and fight. Now that made Arjuna ask this question. Please tell me which is Shreya of the two. Now, what is the similarity? The similarity is that all these questions, 3, 5, and 18, his main aim to find word from Bhagavan Sri Krishna that you should run away from the war, does not go to the war, avoid war. That is the commonality in these questions. The purpose of his asking question is still he does not want to carry out this fighting and going to the war. But what Bhagavan is the reply? He will say, I will come to that next week maybe. He says, Bhagavan says in his reply that for you, the answer is Karma Yoga. Oh Arjun, the question, in 2, Bhagavan replies, Sannyasa Karma Yogasya Nishreyasa Karabhubho Tayostu Karma Sannyasa Karma Yoga Vishishyate. For you, Karma Yoga is superior to renunciation. I will take this thing next week. Thank you very much. Jai Sri Krishna.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prasadji. We will extend our Zoom session by 5-6 minutes. I see Vivek Kamaranji is here. Definitely wants to share what is going to happen in Geeta Ashram, Minnesota on Krishna Janmashtami and tell us how can we share and participate. So we'll let you take it from here. 2-3 minutes. You have to unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Vivekji. You are now good.
Okay, there we go. No, Panditji was on. Thank you so much for inviting us here. I just wanted to mention that we are a very beautiful program that's going to be there on Saturday. Panditji is there right now on site. And if you'd like to join, we'll send you a link to that program. It'll be from 6, especially those in the USA. It'll be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We expect about 200-300 people here at the ashram. A lot of bhajans, a lot of kirtan. It will be very nicely done. And also join us for prasad there, Vilayji. If you can join all the way from Thailand, that would be nice. Join the Geeta Ashram, Peterji join. But those of us who are in North America, I think it will be very, very nice if you could join us. We'll send you the link to Joshiji. I'll send it to you. And then you'll have a nice evening. So it's not going to be till midnight. It will only be for 3 hours. But I think it'll be a nice bhajan satsang. You will enjoy it. And you will see Guruji over there, obviously, at Geeta Ashram. That is a big thing to do. And you will see the deities. And they're very nicely decorated. We could have shown that to you today. So the decorations are all done. So that is a big function coming up. And then after that is Ganesh Chaturthi. That's also set for September 24th. So we will keep you, post you on that as well. So please join us. And thank you so much. I think Panditji just left. He was on here for a good half an hour. So he was listening to Prasad Uncle's speech. And thank you so much for inviting me for 2 minutes here. So Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. Looking
Thank
forward.
you. And that is on this Saturday, right?
Yes, it is on Saturday, and it's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Thank
I
you
will
so
send
much.
that to your link, and Joshiji, you can send it out to.
I will, definitely. Thank you.
Jai
Now,
Shri Krishna.
we have Keshavji Chopra from California. So Keshavji, 2-3 minutes, share your feelings.
Jai Shri Krishna. It is awesome to listen to Prasadji. I have listened maybe second time, but this time it is in much detail and much depth. And I don't know why and where I am struggling. Today I went to ISKCON temple and yesterday as well. When Guruji, His Highness, they say, Prabhu Giriraj ji came from, he is associated with ISKCON like maybe 40-50 years since then. And I talked to him and I offered one Bhagavad Geeta. My one of friend, Ramanand Prasad, has prepared Geeta Chalisa, like Hanuman Chalisa. So wherever I go, I share that. So I gave 2 copies to that Hariyarji, like His Highness, and the president of ISKCON temple of this Bay Area is running 2 ISKCON temples. So I gave the copy to him also. And as Joshiji, the more important thing was, thanks to you for giving me Guru Ma's phone number. And I did get the opportunity and talk to her for like 15-16 minutes on that issue which I raised that question. And we had a good talk. But anyway, finally she commented to me that nobody goes in that depth as you are going. So it was, she made my day. I'm thankful to Guru Ma. And thanks to you, Joshi Saab, for sharing her phone number.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Please keep joining us and keep sharing your experiences. You are also very knowledgeable. At this time, I want to request Ramesh Kemlani ji, who is a very dear devotee of Gurudev. So Ramesh, if you are listening, please share with us 2 minutes or so before we conclude. Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. Very, this is really appreciate. आप हमको टाइम देते हो 2 मिनट का, हमारी आत्मा तृप्त हो जाती है और हम इंतजार करते हैं। जैसे गुरुजी हमको लास्ट में बुलाते थे, पहले नहीं बुलाते थे। हम बहुत हाथ ऊपर करते थे कि गुरुजी हमको कुछ बोलना है, लेकिन गुरुजी हमको चांस नहीं देते थे। वो कहते थे कि तू शुरू हो गया तो फिर बंद नहीं करेगा। तो इसलिए हमको लास्ट में थोड़ा टाइम देते थे बोलने के लिए। तो मैं आपको थोड़े टाइम में आपको यही बताना चाहूँगा कि गुरुजी का जो कहना था कि हर घर में गीता, और आप गीता का प्रचार करो, और 18 अध्याय में भी लिखा है गीता का प्रचार करो। हम लोग 1 साल लास्ट ईयर शुरू किया था जन्माष्टमी में संपुट पाठ, और कल 1 साल हमारा गीता संपुट पाठ का 1 साल। बहुत बड़ी ब्लेसिंग है ये गुरुजी की कि हम लोग को इतनी ताकत दी है इस एज में भी कि हम लोग रोज सुबह उठ के और ये आपस में मिलकर सब डिवोटी गीता का पाठ करते हैं, संपुट पाठ करते हैं ये। और दूसरा हम इंडिविजुअल भी करते हैं, जो हमारे कोई डिवोटी हैं उनको अगर करना है वो भी करते हैं। और एक आपको भी मैंने लास्ट टाइम बताया था कि शाम को, आज 3 महीने हो रहे हैं, शाम को 7 बजे से लेके 9 बजे तक 2 घंटे में पूरी भगवत गीता का हम लोग पाठ करते हैं। 2 घंटे के अंदर पूरी भगवत गीता। उसमें कितने भी डिवोटी आते हैं, 8 या 9 जो भी आते हैं, कोई 2 अध्याय बोलता है, कोई 3 अध्याय बोलता है। और मिरेकल तो ये हुआ है कि जब 1 साल पहले उनको एक अक्षर नहीं आता था गीता का, अब वो पूरी भगवत गीता 2 घंटे के अंदर भर के हमको भेजते। तो ये बहुत गुरु की कृपा, और गुरु जी बहुत खुश हो रहे होंगे जहाँ पर भी हैं, आशीर्वाद दे रहे हैं। तो हम चाहते हैं कि ये थोड़ा फैले, आगे चल के फैले। जैसे यहाँ हमारे साथ हो रहा है, वैसे आप लोग भी इसको, मैं आपको चाहिए तो मैं लिंक भेज दूं टेलीग्राम का आपको, आप प्लीज फैलाइए उसको। और जितने डिवोटी का बेनिफिट ले सके ले, क्योंकि ये गुरु जी का सपना था जो हम लोग साकार कर रहे हैं।
हाँ, तो आप मुझे
जोशी,
लिंक भेज दीजिए, आई विल सेंड इट टू माय डियर ऑफिस।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू। आपका बहुत बहुत आभार होगा, ये आप भेजेंगे कि अगर हम रिकॉर्डिंग भी बनाते हैं इनकी, अगर वो नहीं सुनना चाहते, नहीं आना चाहते, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, आप हमको उनको रिकॉर्डिंग भी भेज देंगे, आपको भेज देंगे, आप फिर सबको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर दीजिए। तो कम से कम उनको मालूम पड़े कि कैसे 2 घंटे के अंदर पूरी भगवत गीता रोज हमारे शाम को 7 बजे से 9 बजे तक होता है।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी वेरी मच।
जय श्री कृष्ण।
At
थैंक
this time, I will like to conclude, but before I conclude, I want to see Gurudev and his voice, and that will be the conclusion.
थैंक यू। जय श्री कृष्ण।
भक्तों के रूप में मेरी अपनी ही आत्मा, श्रीमद् भगवत गीता भगवान के मुखारबिंद से निकली हुई अमर वाणी, और जो भी ये श्रद्धा सहित इस अमर वाणी को धारण करता है, वो जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति करता है, इसमें कोई संशय नहीं। ये जीवात्मा चाहे जिस देश में रहे और चाहे जिस देश में रहे, गीता सबका सब काल में समान रूप से कल्याण करने वाला एक अनुपम एवं अलौकिक ग्रंथ है।
With that, thank you very very much.
Thank you. Jai Shri
And
Krishna.
let's keep meeting as much as we can. And what Dr. Prasad was trying to say, कि मुझे श्री कृष्ण ये चीज बताओ जिसमें मेरा कल्याण किसमें है। The word kalyan is only found in Sanskrit, in Hindi. Kalyan, you got him. When you got him, you got everything. The whole desires are fulfilled once अपना कल्याण हो जाए। Dr. Saab, thank you very much for bringing that kalyan. I could hear Gurudev talking about kalyan. With this, thank you very much. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank
Jai
you,
Gurudev,
thank you.
everyone.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna,
जय
Jai
श्री
Gurudev.
कृष्ण, जय
Jai
श्री
Gurudev.
कृष्ण, जय गुरुदेव।
जय श्री कृष्ण, जय गुरुदेव।
Thank you, Geeta Kiran ji. You are looking like a Swami, Guru, Yogi, everything.
थैंक यू जोशी जी, थैंक यू।
Thank you,
जय श्री
Ramesh. Thank you, everyone. We took 10 minutes extra for Janmashtami.